The Dungeoncast team is excited to announce Starseeker's Guide to Drakenstar, a 5e compatible campaign setting book based off of our actual play D&D podcast, Super Quest Saga.
Welcome to Drakenstar, a setting where science fiction meets high fantasy. Set in a far future of what was once a classic fantasy world, civilization has now spread across the many planets of the known galaxy. Countless eons have passed since the ancients left their original prime world far behind and ventured to the distant stars. Drakenstar encompasses and details an entire galaxy where players and NPCs travel by spacecraft to various planets and star systems. Exploration of alien frontiers, starship skirmishes by etherlight, advanced civilizations vying for galactic dominance, and the fusion of ancient sorceries with biological and technological advancements. All of these and more are elements of adventure in the universe of Drakenstar.
So the city of Domain Bastion becomes visible below you, and it is by far the largest city that you've ever seen. But it's essentially this ocean of skyscrapers and streets laid out in a perfect grid system, and it stretches out before you. Outlaw's Horizon was a major city in its own right, but this is on a different scope. This is the scope of a planetary capital.
All of these ships have a vaguely dragon-esque look to them, but among them is something much larger than any of the vessels that are present. An enormous winged monstrosity about the size of a skyscraper. Victoria whispers, "A dragon."
That's not a boat. That's no moon.
4 of the eggs closest to the cart begin to crack, and bursting forth from them are these crustacean-looking monstrosities with 2 huge lobster claws, a singular eye, and a great gaping maw of teeth. Everyone roll initiative.
With this book as your guide, discover the planets and peoples of galactic nations such as the Draconic Star Sovereignty or the Imperial Elven Dominion. Experience the futuristic player options such as the Heavy Gunner, the Bounty Hunter, and Pact of the Machine Warlock. Pit your players against a galactic bestiary containing unique creatures and entities such as galactic dragons, mechanized constructs with advanced AI, alien monstrosities, and primal cosmic entities. Starseeker's Guide to Drakenstar will be available as a digital PDF as well as in a gorgeous hardcover format. Go all out with our premium Drakenstar starter kit, including a custom Celestial Dragon dice set, DM screen, and more. To learn more about this exciting project, to pre-order your book, or to simply show your support, visit Drakenstar.com and join the legions of Starseekers setting out to explore the galaxy today.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dungeoncast. I'm Brian.
And I am Williamicus Starkicus, the Dark Wizard, Necromancer of the 17th Death Realm, Warlock to the one and only true god, Demogorgon.
This is the Podcasticus where we talk about everything Dungeons and Dragons. And today,
we're covering the Undying Warlock.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Shout out to Demogorgon.
Welcome, adventurers, to the Dungeoncast.
Good evening, Brian.
Good evening, Will. I am but a humble traveler and adventurer, and that is my costume.
And I am Williamicus Starkicus, the Dark Wizard, Lord of the 17th Death Realm, and Warlock to the one and only true god, Demogorgon.
I also like Demogorgon. Shout out to Demogorgon.
How you doing today, Brian?
I'm great. I feel like the exact opposite of dead. I feel alive.
Which is good because this subclass is all about not dying. Actually,
I'll never die. I am the Undying Warlock.
Indeed.
I have undying love for a demon lord.
So last week we focused on a subclass very focused on killing, the Death Domain Cleric. Today we are going to go over a class obsessed with not dying, the Undying Warlock. It's a pretty odd subclass, if I do say so. I was really surprised by its features, but they don't not make sense. You form a pact with an entity that has learned how to cheat death, presumably so that you can learn that secret too. Much the same way that Anakin chooses to become Palpatine's pupil in order to learn how to reverse death, and much like Darth Vader, the Undying Warlock continues to live even after losing 3 limbs, burning half their body, and losing the love of their life.
He just refuses to die.
I
when I was thinking of characters that refuse to die, that was not one of them. I thought about only like the crazy like action adventure people that definitely should be dead with some of the shit they do.
Okay. I'm very interested to see what character you create then, because that is a very different take from what I got.
Sick.
So, death holds no sway over your patron, who has unlocked the secrets of everlasting life, although such a prize, like all power, comes at a price. Once mortal, the Undying has seen mortal lifetimes pass like the seasons, like the flicker of endless days and nights. It has the secrets of the ages to share, secrets of life and death. Beings of this sort include Vecna, Lord of the Hand and the Eye. Well, that's a title I haven't heard him have. He has a lot of titles, but that's not one that I often hear.
Well, there's new Vecna lore, so maybe it came from there.
Maybe. The Dread Ayas, the Lich Queen Vol, the Undying Court of Arenal, Vlaakith, the Lich Queen of the Githyanki, and the Deathless Wizard Fistantalis.
Fist and
Fistandantalis. It's Dragonlance.
That T in there is pivotal, my dude.
Fistandantalis.
Dantalis.
Yeah.
Antal. Minus the T. It's anal.
Oh my gosh. Anyways.
Fist anal.
Anyways, in the realms, Undying patrons include Larlock, the Shadow King, legendary master of Warlock's Crypt, and Gilgeem, the God King of Unther.
There's no way I can check all the pronunciations.
Me neither.
Just did on these.
Me neither. But if you choose to become this warlock, you start off with a cool expanded spell list.
The spells get bigger, just like all the other warlocks.
Yes, except for the ones from the player's handbook for some reason.
Bummer.
The Undying lets you choose from an expanded list of spells when you learn a warlock spell. The following spells are added to the warlock spell list for you. Undying expanded spells. First level, you get False Life and Ray of Sickness. Second level, Blindness and Deafness and Silence. Third, Feign Death and Speak with Dead. Fourth, Aura of Life and Death Ward. And finally, fifth, Contagion and Legend Lore.
Those are cool.
Yeah, all pretty good spells. Among the Dead is your first feature, though. And, of course, you get it at level 1 when you choose this patron. Starting at first level, you learn the Spare the Dying cantrip, which counts as a warlock cantrip for you. You also have advantage on saving throws against any disease.
Nice.
Additionally, undead have difficulty harming you. If an undead targets you directly with an attack or harmful spell, the creature must make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. An undead needn't make the save when it includes you in an area of effect, such as an explosion of fireball. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or forfeit targeting someone instead of you, potentially wasting the attack or spell. On a successful save, the creature is immune to this effect for 24 hours, and undead is also immune to this effect for 24 hours if you target it with an attack or harmful spell. Now, that kind of negates a lot of it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay, that was a lot of information.
Yeah. So essentially, you are able to dissuade undead from hurting you. And if they aim something at you, you can make them make a save, and they'll have to either hurt someone else, or if they can't, just not do anything.
You know what death is like. Please don't do this to me.
Exactly. But the weird thing is, if you attack it or hit it with a spell, then it doesn't have to make the save, which kind of negates the usefulness of this, because it would be useful in a fight against the undead. So now this goes from being like a combat thing to being like, a utility thing of like, hey, you're the one who's most likely to survive walking through that zombie swarm to get the item we need on the other side.
That is good.
It is good, but it already took something that is narrow because it's specific to a type of creature that you might never encounter, and made it even more narrow by saying, but it's not good for combat, though.
That's true. It's like Mage Hand, but thicker and worse.
Sure, yeah, we'll go with that. Next feature is called Defy Death. You get it at level 6. You can give yourself vitality when you cheat death or when you help someone else cheat it. You can regain hit points equal to 1d8 plus your constitution modifier. Weird that it isn't charisma, considering that, charisma is kind of your thing. Constitution probably isn't.
Well, constitution is if you have constitution points, you're like further away from death, right?
Yeah, I mean, constitution does have to do with your virility of life, but like, this is like you're supposed to be getting it from your boon, right? From your patron. So maybe it should be related to the charisma of your spellcast.
They're routing it through your charisma into your con.
Yeah, sure. When you succeed on a death saving throw, when you stabilize a creature with Spare the Dying, so that's when you get these hit points regained, is when you succeed on a saving throw, which is good because like, if you're down, the only other way to pop up is someone heals you or you crit. In this case, you just succeed, but you're back up. So you could perpetually not die this way.
Right. Okay.
And then spare the dying is if you're, obviously if you're down, maybe another friend's down. So like you use this ability to pop back up, and then on your turn you spare the dying them, and then you heal yourself even more.
Damn, all the not dying shit starts at a pretty high level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first one is kind of not dying-ish. It's just so specific.
Yeah.
Well, the next one is 4 more levels above that. So it's called Undying Nature. Beginning at 10th level, you can hold your breath indefinitely. And you don't require food, water, or sleep, although you still require rest due to reduce exhaustion and still benefit from finishing a short or long rest. In addition, you age at a slower rate. For every 10 years that pass, your body ages only 1 year, and you are immune to being magically aged.
See, like 10th level is kind of where I want some of these features earlier.
Yeah, and also again, like the first one's cool, in that, but like the Warforged essentially has that at creation.
Dang. Okay.
And then the second part of this is great flavor. It's probably not going to come up, although I did age the fuck out of Persephone in our Super Quest Saga game when a ghost wailed at her or whatever it was. I don't remember at this point.
It was a Banshee, wasn't it?
It was it was the Hyoshigi, who I think they removed their mask.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
But
they weren't supposed to age anyway because they had like heroes feasted. That was like a debacle.
That was a thing.
That's true. That did show up.
Before that session, we thought she aged 40 years. It was great.
Right.
Your final feature is at level 14. It's called Indestructible Life. You partake of some of the true secrets of the Undying. On your turn, you can use a bonus action to regain hit points equal to 1d8 plus your Warlock level, so 1d8 plus 14 at this point. Additionally, if you have put a severed body part of yours back in place when you use this feature, the part reattaches.
Gross.
Again, with this adding very, very specific things that'll probably never happen to your character.
I know, it sounds contrived when you add this feature into a class. It sounds like, well, now the DM has to cut your limbs off.
Right, because otherwise, what's the point?
Right. It's just like the only person in Dragon Ball whose like fucking arm ever blows off is well, Tien once, but he died after that.
That's true.
But then Piccolo like a bajillion times.
Also Gohan in the alternate universe.
Yeah, but then he died after that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true.
Piccolo keeps getting his arms blown off as like what I'm saying is like they write it for that character.
I feel like Piccolo does it to show off.
Sure. Yeah. It's like
Cell does it too.
What I'm trying to say is that Piccolo's not the one actually doing it.
So what you're telling me is Piccolo is an Undying Warlock. You heard it here first.
Because Piccolo can do that, they make it happen a lot.
Yes,
but
you're absolutely right.
Isn't Piccolo just as strong as everybody else?
Why did his arms blow off? Why are his arms exploding all the fucking time?
So right, like
That's
when
hilarious.
you get this feature, your DM now has permission to cut off all your arms to show it off.
Exactly.
And it's gonna happen. And you guys should be ready for it.
And there's some flavor to it, but it's also not very mechanically useful.
Right. And also like
and this is level 14, yo.
If this is public knowledge, it's kind of lame. If it's not
That's
public
true.
knowledge and you're going for a shock factor, like, hey, when you get this feature, let's do this cool thing where I like cut off all your arms and then we shock everyone when you like, fucking Sally
Frankenstein
from
it back on.
Yeah, from Nightmare Before
that's
Christmas
a
shelf
better
back
pull.
together.
I like that one.
So I don't like that. It's fine, I guess.
So yeah, my take on this is that this subclass is lame. It's not great. It's not great.
Well, it's dead to me.
I like the idea of it before we start reading the features. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then when you start getting into the actual feature, I'm like, these just aren't that useful.
Nothing in here is powerful. The
And, like-
most powerful stuff you're going to get is from just being a warlock and doing warlock
Right,
stuff.
exactly. Also, like, for a class that's supposed to be dedicated to you not dying, it's not at all that good at keeping you alive.
Yeah, the Among the Dead features seem cool. The Defy Death features seem cool, but they come a little late.
Yeah,
And the Undying Nature. Everything is in those spots right
but
there.
even then, like with Defy Death, I immediately was like, oh, Constitution mod, that's bad math. Bad math. It needs to be charisma, and even then, it's not good. It's just at least it makes a little bit more sense in its use.
Yeah,
But,
what's your Constitution going to be as the warlock? It's your
plus
middle
one
of the
or
road
plus
stat,
two
right?
tops? Yeah,
It's a +1. So
versus your charisma is going to be a +3 to +5 by end game.
yeah, and I agree. We should do a rework of this. This is not good. The list of spells is cool.
Yeah.
The list of spells looks very cool. The lore is cool. I like all the stuff you wrote.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, like otherwise though, like this is whack. Sorry.
I'll say this. There's a reason that we never covered this. Last Halloween we did the Undead Warlock. Much better subclass. Go look at that one.
Yeah.
Check out that video or podcast. Also, there's a reason we tend not to cover things out of Skag. It's because Skag stinks.
Skag is
It
weirdly
smells
bad.
so bad.
It has cool lore in it.
There are
It's
some
got
things in it.
cool
that are
maps
alright.
and
Yeah.
like regional. If you're trying to run a Faerun game, that's a pretty cool book.
Yeah. I do think the Blade Singer comes out of that book. It's like the one good thing.
It does, but the Blade Singer from that book needs work.
And
the
then
work
they-
it needed
that it
exactly
got.
what they did in Tasha's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I ditched it. So I was playing a Blade Singer in Super Quest Saga with the Skag version, and then Tasha's came out like 2 months after I started doing that.
Yeah, and we
I was like,
updated.
oh fuck this.
Yeah.
I was like multi-classing Warlock and Rogue to like make cool things happen for this, and no way.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't covered the. I think it's a barbarian class. It's called the what's it called? The something rager, the battle rager.
I thought we did cover the Battle Rager.
I don't think we did. I think we. Oh, you know what? We did in the Barbarians Revisited episode, but we haven't had a bespoke episode for it, and we're
not going to do a character build
to.
because
We're
it's
not.
still limited to dwarves only. I
Yeah.
just looked at it because I want a multi-class
Oh yeah,
barbarian.
well they said that about Blade Singer with elves too, and then also I know that we got reached out to not too long ago about the Oath of the Crown Paladin, which is another very weak class. I don't have plans to cover it. I mean, okay, if you hit me up in the comments and like 100 of you are like, hey, I really want to hear you guys do it, like, okay, maybe we'll do it. But other than that, it doesn't really offer anything in particular that I particularly think is interesting.
Let us know if you would be more interested in hearing us rework these bad classes. Like let's go over what is written and then be like, here's what it should be to match the power scale of today's D&D.
Or to flip and reverse that, let us know if you want to hear us shit all over classes we don't like.
Well, we can. What I'm suggesting is we're going to do both. We're going to read this one just like we did and shit on it because this is lame. I mean, there's cool stuff here. It's just weirdly distributed throughout the levels. And
There's potential.
has potential. And then we kind of like tweak it. So we're sort of doing that on the fly, right? Like, I wish I got a lot of these features right up front. That would be sick.
Agreed.
It would make multi-classing my Warlock make a lot more sense.
Absolutely.
So yeah, maybe like 3 to 4 to 5 levels in, we're getting a lot of this stuff hammered out, and then we can just like tack on a bunch of cooler shit like later in later game for this.
Yeah.
Like by 10th level of this, you should be doing some like real cool not dying shit, like the Zealot Barbarian, which I am going to multi-class this with because I think it does a better job at not dying than this class does.
Definitely. Absolutely. And almost any barbarian does because of just the way rage works and shit.
Yes, that's true.
That's
where I'm at.
Well, then let's take a short rest, and when we come back, we're going to make the best or worst characters we can with this not so great subclass.
I mean, we're going to try. We're definitely going to try. And
I do apologize if anyone out there loves this subclass.
I mean, that's let me know what you're doing with it that makes you love it.
Yeah,
like
that.
If you built any character design can liven up like dead stats, you know.
Absolutely. Short rest time.
Did you hear all the stuff I said about life and death in that sentence?
No, I didn't, but good job.
Thanks.
I'll hear it when we re-listen.
The short rest.
All right. Oh God, my robe.
Shout out to Demogorgon. Shout out to Demogorgon. Oh yeah. Shout out to Demogorgon. Shout out to Demogorgon. Oh yeah.
We've returned.
Indeed, we have.
We're back.
Indeed, we are.
You thought we died?
We are undying.
Wrong.
We can't
Incorrect.
die.
We can't.
Theoretically.
Not until the podcast is done.
That's true.
Demogorgon won't let us.
All right.
He says we need to make that cash. So go to patreon.com/the Dungeoncast to help us make that cash.
I love it.
That's
Good job.
and shout out
Shout out to
shout out to
Demogorgon.
Demogorgon. When you give us the money on Patreon and then Jack Conte, the CEO of Patreon, pays it out to us, they become Demogorgon bucks.
That's the best money.
That's the best
It's
money
the
you can get.
strongest currency in existence.
We can't have Demogorgon bucks without you guys because we have to go through the filter. You can donate it directly, but as soon as it hits our checking accounts, it's Demogorgon bucks, and we just kind of like Hey, we're gonna get the studio drywalled. Thank you, Patreon people.
Indeed.
We'll be shouting you out next episode on Halloween.
Indeed,
it's not
we
quite
shall.
Halloween yet, but it's
No,
close.
it's very close.
Let's get into some character creation. Will, you were telling me that you don't want to die.
I don't want to die. In fact, I'm building a character who is paranoid to the point of complete obsession with not dying. So this character fears death above all things. They are not a traditional adventurer. They're not interested in treasure. They're not interested in glory. They're not interested in items. They just want to live forever. And unfortunately, no one gets to live forever except for the Undying. And so they formed a pact, and against their desire to, not go out and endanger themselves, they do so at their patron's behest because their patron is dangling that carrot of never dying in front of them.
Yeah, Jack Sparrow is an Undying Warlock.
Sure. Yeah, I could go for that.
He is 100%.
Absolutely. I'm not denying it.
He's he could also be a fathomless warlock because
I like that one too.
he sells his soul to Davy Jones to become the captain of the Black Pearl.
He does.
And then Davy Jones shows up and he's like, Jack Sparrow, do you fear death? And he's like, fuck yeah, I do. 100%. That's why I sold you my fucking soul, homie. But then he died.
Then he did die.
Oh, shit. Spoilers for Pirates of the Caribbean Dead
Which is
Man's
like
Chest.
15 years old now at this point.
Fuck. I did it wrong.
Let's get back to my character.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about
So
Will's
I
character.
wanted to do a collaboration here. So I have nothing except for an idea. And the idea here is every option that I get to choose for this character, I want it to be the most self-serving, help me survive a little bit longer. Like, I'm probably going to take the toughness feat and the durable feat. I don't know. We're going to look at the feats. We're going to see which ones give this character the most survivability. They're going to not be useful in a fight. They're not going to be a great party member to have.
We're going to look at the feats one at a time, and there's going to be no skin on them, so don't get any weird ideas. You fucking creeps.
And we're going to look at the race because I think the Goliath race has a particularly like survivable feature. We're going to look at that.
Well, let's get in. Let's start
But
looking
first-
at it, man. Let's
Okay,
go.
well, first I want a name.
My character's name is like a mashup of 3 names that I'm going to base my character off of. So we'll
Okay.
get to that, I guess.
Okay,
But
well, we can come back to the name if you want to, if you want the choices we make to inform the name.
what about Jack as a first name?
Okay, that's a good start. Maybe.
And then what about for a last name?
Damn it.
Well, I came up with one. You come up with one.
Oh, okay.
It can be the middle name or the last name.
Jack.
Or a nickname.
Fuck. I'm bad with names. That's why I hired you for this. All right, we'll come back to the name. Moving on.
You are not my boss.
No, but I collaborated with you on this character for this exact purpose.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Good last names. I'm going to just type that into Google.
First, I'm
fast.
going to pull up the Goliath race while you do that.
Smith.
No, I'm not doing Jack Smith. No.
It says it's a good last name on Google.
So, Stone's Endurance, you can focus yourself to occasionally shrug off injury. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to roll a d12. Add your Constitution mod to the number rolled and reduce the damage by that total. Okay, I think I'm going with Goliath, unless you can think of another race that has like a built-in feature of not dying.
No, I think that's a good one.
I think it's
I mean,
solid.
the only one I could think of would be like Lucky Halfling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not quite on the nose.
Yeah, and that doesn't feel like the right vibe. The only other thing is a human with an extra feet is what I'm thinking. Goliath?
Yeah, go Goliath.
Let's do Goliath.
They like die early, so maybe a Goliath with a fear of dying is going to be like a cool
That's
spin on it.
true. There we go.
Good reason to go adventure. I know you said
They
you didn't
do
really
die
want
early.
to adventure, but
No, they don't, but their patrons are going to make them anyways. So
you could be Jack McClane, like like John McClane.
Oh no.
Because
no,
like
no.
I don't know. That's kind of we're going. How about Barlow? Jack Barlow.
Why Barlow?
Barlow is well, it says it's a unique last name in Google, but it is also a vampire in Salem's Lot, and they are undead.
Okay, fine. Jack Barlow.
Barlow.
Jack Barlow's not a good Goliath name.
How about we'll change the first name then, because I think we'll go with Barlow. For the
Barlow
last
could
name.
work. Yeah. Okay.
Or we could just call him Barlow.
Okay, Barlow. Maybe his name's Barlow. Yeah. Okay.
In the book, I'm pretty sure it's got just
Barlow the Boulder.
BARLOW, but here on Google it has an E at the end, like one of those arbitrary silent ones. Or unless it's Barlowy.
So I can't choose survival like I wanted for my skills. I think I'm gonna go with
Your background can be survival.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Deception. That seems like something you lying to get out of things, lying to better
Yeah, or
survive.
persuasion. Also.
I don't get that one.
Okay, yeah.
We'll go with nature because trying not to get poisoned.
Yeah, I've studied the plants so I
Exact-
don't accidentally eat some bullshit.
Absolutely. Then we choose the Undying.
Gut health is critical for a healthy lifestyle. I have to know
Yep,
what food will
absolutely.
make my guts right.
All right, invocations. What invocations help you survive more? Mage armor. What is the one that gives you just fucking mage armor at will? It's I know. I'll know it when I see it.
How about I look through the feats with you? I can do that. and not
Invocations.
Fuck up my thing.
I'm doing invocations right now.
Okay.
Armor of Shadows. So Armor of Shadows, I can cast mage armor at will. So automatically making myself more durable. And then I think there's one that allows me to cast like false life at will. So I'm definitely gonna pick that one up. See here, it is.
Here's a fiendish vigor is you can false life yourself
There
at
we
will
go.
at
There we
first level spell without expending a spell slot
There
or
we
material
go.
components.
Fiendish vigor, gotta stay alive. What's Cloak of Flies? That sounds disgusting.
I think that gives you like AC or something like that.
So advantage on intimidation checks.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Any creature that starts to turn, or you know what? Fuck it, I'm taking Cloak of Flies, like to help protect me. Now I'm scarier. People will stay away, and if they get near me, they're gonna get poisoned from
There
all
you
these
go.
flies.
Don't touch me.
Yeah, and then I get one more. I get a level 7th option.
I'm kind of feeling like some because you're like your character's like a panicky
Yeah,
like, guy,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that like this really big imposing figure that like jumps at a mouse sort of, but
yeah.
it's death that they're jumping at.
Yeah,
And they're like getting up onto the fucking counter or whatever and like in the fetal position to avoid it.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm thinking about one with the shadows. When you are in an area of dim light or darkness, you can use your action to become invisible until you move or take an action or reaction. So being able to turn invisible sounds pretty survivable, right?
Yeah, dude, that's how Harry Potter stays alive.
It's so true. I'm going with that one. All right, Pact Boon. I forgot about this part. All right, there's blade, there's chain, there's talisman, and there's tome.
Right, and we don't have the Undying in there because they took Skag
No,
from us.
Undying. We already chose that at level 1. Because remember,
that's what I was asking you about earlier. Okay,
you get your
cool.
otherworldly patron, and then you get your Pact Boon.
Oh,
Level 3.
okay.
So amulet, talisman. Whenever the wearer fails an ability check, they can add D4, potentially turning the roll into a success. Okay, Pact of the Talisman. If I fail my jump check, I can use my talisman to jump better.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So talisman to help me with skill checks to help me survive.
That's actually really good. I like
Wow,
that.
this is coming together. Next up, not doing ability score improvements. We're only taking feats and the ones that help us survive more. Let's see here. So toughness is obvious, but let's see what our other options are. Durable. Con goes up by 1 when you roll hit die to regain hit points. The minimum number of hit points you regain from the roll equals twice your con mod. That's kind of okay, and then it's in the right vein. Can I become a heavy armor guy?
And just wear bulky armor as a warlock.
Yeah, let
You
me see.
could.
See here. I think there might be some stat requirements like strength and stuff.
How about this? There's a fadeaway feat. Your people are clever with a knack for illusion magic. You have learned a magical trick for fading away when you suffer harm. You gain the following benefits: increase your dex or intelligence by 1, and then immediately after you take damage, you can use a reaction to magically become invisible until the end of your next turn, or until you attack, deal damage, or force someone to make a saving throw.
I feel like that's a racial one based off whatever character you have opened up there. Is that,
Oh, really?
Is that a gnome or a Harengon?
You know it is. Well, I actually haven't picked my race yet, have I?
Okay. You usually do. Because I don't see that as an option on here.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in the barbarian, spoilers. I'm in the barbarian stuff. I guess I should just choose my Harengon now, since that's a thing. Anyway, that seemed like a cool feat that you could have taken if you had access to
if
it.
I had access to it.
Why don't you have access to it? Hey, get your bingo cards ready. D&D Beyond is confusing.
Yeah.
That's
It's
it.
tough. I feel like it's the boring one, but it makes sense. So I'm gonna grab tough, and then we get another one. Ability score improvement. Feet. I decided against the armor one anyways because I forgot I'm doing the mage armor.
What about like healer? Is that too?
Maybe because that
Maybe
healing is not dying.
Maybe they also like their fear. They impose their fear of death onto others. You know, so they like don't want anyone to fucking die, especially themselves.
Like just the idea of someone else dying triggers them, so they're like super into not letting their peeps die.
Yeah, when you use a healer's kit to stabilize a dying creature, the creature also regains 1 hit point. Like maybe you like Batman style sew yourself up a lot or something like that.
Maybe.
There, I'll keep looking. Alert, I think is always a cool one.
That's the one. Can't be surprised.
Yeah,
plus
you're like
5 to
paranoid.
initiative.
You're always on the lookout.
Okay. So it's alert and tough for sure.
That's a solid combo for not dying.
Absolutely. Now I'm gonna do some spells real quick. Cantrips. Obviously, I get spare the dying. Blade Ward, which is useless, but a coward would definitely pick it. Friends. Don't want anyone mad at me. They might kill me.
Well, they'll get pissed at you after you cast that spell. It's just like for you to make them do something real quick and then get away.
Okay, well then not friends. What's something that pushes things away?
Well, it could be useful if somebody's trying to kick your ass in a bar and you're like, "Hey, buddy, we're friends, right?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, we are friends, aren't we?" And then you'd be like, "Okay, I got to go take a shit," and then you leave.
I think it doesn't work on people antagonistic against you, though.
I think, yeah, they have to have like a more neutral sort of vibe.
I mean, you can't beat Eldritch Blast. Offense is the best defense.
You're right. I changed my race, and that fade away.
It went away.
Feat is faded away.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that about?
I don't know.
Strange.
I'd have to look it up. Thunderclap. What does that do?
There's somebody screaming into the speakers right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, Brian, don't you know this? I don't. Sorry, whoever you are.
Oh man, there's nothing mage hand so that I don't have to get close to the thing that I don't want to touch.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like picking spells is arbitrary for warlocks a lot of the time, other than like, you know, for the purposes of what we're doing here, because Eric gave you the spell list that with all the flavor.
In a lot of ways, yeah. I did choose Cosvere and Charm Person.
Yeah, those make sense.
Expeditious Retreat, definitely.
Sure. That's like the flavor of spells you're going for, though. It's like safety,
darkness,
get away,
for safety.
Yeah, darkness is great, especially in situations where someone has an advantage over you. You can kind of nullify all that out.
Oh, Mirror Image is great defensively.
Yes, you make a bunch of copies of yourself.
Counter spell, that's very defensive. Gaseous form can't hurt me if I'm a cloud.
True. What about grease?
Not bad, although now I'm in the higher level stuff now. I'm down by Summon Undead and Charm Monster. That feels very survivable. Death. Oh, I'm out of spells. Okay, I chose my spells. Next up, okay, we got the. We're doing rolled now, right?
Yes, we are gonna roll.
Here
stats
we
out.
go. I got 4d6, everybody.
I'll keep track for you. You want to bring this up here?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Stat number 1. Oh God, I rolled 3 1s, dude. 5.
Hey man, this is the
7.
I feel like maybe you were looking at rolled stats through rose-colored glasses. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Oh, this is great though. 16.
Okay, there you go.
So a 7 and a 16. This is a 12.
Okay. Every warlock needs a terrible strength score.
13. Holy shit, another 16. I rolled a 4, a 5, a 5, and a 6.
You're officially doing good.
Officially doing pretty damn good, if you ask me. How many more I got?
1.
Oh, fucking 5, 4, 6 again. That's another 16.
Okay, now you're broken.
Yeah. Holy shit. All right, the 7 has to go into Strength. I am but a scrawny Goliath.
Always. Yeah. You're so frail.
Yeah.
That's what led you to all this, is you were
Absolutely.
so damn skinny.
So, okay, we're going to do 7 strength,
Like you have
16 con,
You have to eat a bunch of peanut butter and bananas, and you're like, we don't have those here. I have to leave the village.
16 wisdom, and 16 charisma. What were my other two?
You've got a 7, 16, a 12, 13, 16, 16.
So 12 and 13. Okay, well, I'll put 12 in intelligence and 13 in dex. Wow. I can't believe I got 3 16s. Holy crap.
Pretty good.
All right. Oh, and then I get to choose. As a matter of fact, I have to go back to.
These are the same 4 dice we used last time that you harped on me about
I
for
did.
being bad dice.
Well, what it was I'm pretty sure I used the tower last time, the tower bit of this, instead of my own, these 2 hands.
Yeah, sure.
So
I mean, they leave your hands to go
Hey,
into
man,
the tower.
All
and
I know is it needs to be a direct line between these 2 hands, these lucky hands of mine.
What if you had like a cup, like Yahtzee?
I'm a pretty good Yahtzee player, I think.
It's because your hands touch the cup.
I am customizing my origin to better optimize my stats,
Okay.
and I am going to do. Let me see here. +2 and a +1, and it's going to let me choose it on this other ability score section. Here it is. +2 con, which I probably already got anyways, and then +1 dex to make that 14.
Excellent.
Fuck, this is an OP character. I have an 18 constitution.
You are not going to die,
I'm not gonna die. Not on this day.
even with all your terrible subclass features.
I still get a background. Okay.
They're not terrible. They're just weak.
What is the background for a character who does not want to die? Outlander can find food.
Well, I mean, it should really be from the approach of who was this person before they became an adventurer.
I picture like a quote unquote runt of the litter style character who's like the outcast of his village. I mean, he's the opposite of everything Goliath stand for, right? They're athletic, they're always daring and trying to risk their lives. Like dying young is kind of what they do.
Right.
And he's the polar opposite.
He's like, fuck all this shit.
Yeah, fuck all this shit. Like and so basically no one likes him.
Well, I think because they're a warlock, like, isn't Alkalite always a good option here? Like, they studied under some.
Well, I was thinking that they probably stumbled upon their patron up high in the mountains in some crypt, that they fell into because they didn't go into it willingly.
So accidentally.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, you could be studious in some religious cult and then, like, step adjacent one side and find a warlock in that regard.
Yeah, it's just, if we're going with traditional Goliath stuff, then that doesn't make sense. I would have to move him to somewhere that does make sense.
So you leave your mountain village to go find life
down the
elsewhere,
mountain, yeah.
and then you fall into like a fucking hole or whatever, and you're gonna die.
Oh, okay.
And your patron comes to save you. And I wanted to use this for mine, but you can have it if you want. Or it's like just some random big skeleton like trapped in the mountain.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like some big skeleton king who we woke up and it's like, how long's it been? Oh God, it's been 1,000 years. I'm too weak to move these bones, but I can give you some of my power and you can do stuff to revive me.
Like
and I'll teach you how to not die.
Like when Madara finds Obito and like stops him from dying. Spoilers.
Yeah, kinda like that.
And the skeleton's gonna be like, young dying Goliath, have you ever heard the legend of Dark Plagueis the Wise?
I wish there was a background for like outcast, for like, like I got nothing here. Urchin doesn't make sense.
Okay, what about
I want outcast.
Okay.
I'm gonna make one. Custom one.
Yeah.
Custom background. Here we go. How do I do this? Configure. Haha. Outcast. So as an outcast, he is going to get 2 skills and 2 tools. I'll figure out the background feature later, but how do I choose the skills?
You could pick Sage and be like, I was trying to go find the information I wanted to stay alive. And now you just ask your patron to give you information.
That's not bad. I'll use that as a fallback. Yeah, none of these really fit what I'm looking for otherwise, huh?
Because I think this should inform who you were and not what you're trying to be after you become.
Well,
a warlock.
so I'm picturing like the reason he's an outcast and like gets trained in survival is because like, well, he had to scrounge what he could because like they wouldn't share the food with him.
So he's an urchin.
Yeah, but doesn't urchin get? What does urchin get?
You grew up on the streets alone, orphaned and poor. You had no one to watch you or provide for you. Blah blah blah. You get sleight of hand and stealth. You get disguise kit and thieves tools. It's like a roguey kind of thing.
Well, what's the feature?
City secrets. You know the secret patterns and flow to cities and can find passages through the urban sprawl that others would miss. This could just translate it straight over to mountains, whatever.
Okay,
sort of
yeah,
like a ranger vibe.
We'll do that with specifically with mountains.
Yeah, why don't we just like take the urchin feature and then change everything from a rogue vibe to a ranger vibe? Like instead of disguise kit and thieves tools, you get like an herbalism kit and like a
I'm
water
into that.
distillation or something like that.
Okay, so I'm doing that here with Outcast. I'm gonna save it, and I think it's gonna let me pick. Okay, skills. I'm choosing honestly survival though. I just feel like it makes sense, and then stealth.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then what were the tools? Herbal kit.
Yeah, you can like herbalism
kit
or
for
medicine.
sure.
You know, either
Yeah.
one's probably fine.
An herbalism kit and
whatever tools you want, probably. The tools are. I mean, just like, does he have some shit on him to help him live?
That's what I'm looking through my options right now, and I think I'm gonna settle on cartographer's tools.
Yeah, I find myself going there so much. There's not something with like iodine tablets in it, huh?
No, I don't think so. All right, but we got that figured out. And
Sick.
as for his items, I mean, he's just gonna have standard stuff. So
Sure.
I don't think we need to go into that because he's gonna be mage armoring for his AC, and then he's not gonna be attacking with a weapon. He's gonna have an arcane focus. So I think we're done.
You know, we did kind of do this once with the Goliath. Didn't we talk? We either built it or we talked about like a Goliath wizard. That was like
I basically built Megamind the character.
Right, yeah.
It was great.
This is like the Warlock version of that.
Yeah, it's a similar premise of like, let's take everything about the Goliath and go the opposite direction with it, but in a different way.
Yeah, this is fun. This is fun. Like it's sad too. Like your background is super sad. They're like the runt of the litter.
Yeah, they really are. Okay. Let's manage his goddamn name because now I don't like the name Jack anymore. What do we got?
You were Barlow. Thin Barlow.
Oh yeah.
You could be Mint. That could be your name.
Mint?
You could be Thin Mint.
No, I'm not doing Thin Mint. Barlow. What's something that's thin or stringy like
or like brittle stone. How about that? Like brittle.
That's so insulting to a Goliath. I like it.
Yeah.
Barlow Brittlestone.
Oh damn! You just straight up. I was gonna find a rock that is brittle and then give you that name, but that's fine too.
Yeah, Barlow Brittlestone. Let's do it. Character done. Barlow Brittlestone, the Goliath. He's not very useful in a fight, but goddamn, will he not die?
He just won't fucking die
He
though.
just won't go down.
And now it's like, and ever since he disappeared that one time, it's like, shit. Is that a fucking beam of light? Is he firing beams at people?
From his eyes. He's got 91 HP. A warlock with 91 HP at level 8.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad. My initiative is +7. I mean, everything else is pretty standard. The spells I chose are all very survivable. Yeah, I'm done. Okay, Barlow Brittlestone, the boulder who won't break.
the boulder that won't break.
Yeah.
No matter how far off the mountain you drop him, he just won't seem to die.
That's my character. All right, Brian, let's do yours.
So your other options would have been sedimentary rocks, which are the weakest of the 3 categories of rock, and you would have had, I'm gonna say, breccia. It's got a double
Barlow
C in there.
Breccia.
Conglomerate, sandstone, siltstone, and shale. Barlow shale is cool too. I like that.
It is.
Look at here comes shale, little pale shale. Doesn't go outside and get his sun. Okay, I'm gonna do my character now.
Off the record, Josh Raylan says he's over 6 feet tall.
Were we even talking about that on mic?
No, we weren't.
You can't just say that.
Moving on.
We got a YouTube. No, we're not moving on. We got a comment about how Freeland is swole as fuck because he is.
Because he is.
He's 6'1".
He's 6'1". Yeah.
Okay, so I'm slightly taller than
Yeah.
Freeland.
See, I told you.
Okay, so I can see over him a little bit.
Okay, fine. I'm just saying he's in the same size category.
I just
as you.
didn't. I never said he was short. And yes, he's bulked out as fuck, like more so than almost anyone I know probably have ever known or will ever know in person.
Absolutely.
Josh Freeland is an absolute monster, behemoth of a man.
All right, let's build your character.
Highly
Speaking of
sexual
behemoth
creature.
of men, let's talk about your behemoth of a man character.
Oh yeah, I am a medium-sized Harangon, but I'm super buff, and we'll find out how buff when I roll all my shitty stats.
Okay, let's go.
So welcome to the Harangonverse, everybody. I went a different route. I wanted a multi-class warlock, but it turns out this is one of the worst ones to try and do it with. But I'm doing it anyway, and I'm building the highest level character I've ever built on the show, level 17.
Oh my god!
Or I think I have to be level 18 actually
Holy
to make this work.
That's crazy.
Because I feel like the path of the Zealot Barbarian is much better at not dying than any warlock ever, including this one.
Right.
So I took 15 levels of that.
So you took 3 levels of warlock?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Just enough to get that's what you're supposed to do with warlock though.
Yeah, but you aren't actually getting any of the undying features at that point
Because they suck.
They do suck.
And I've got them all by taking 15 levels of barbarian, and I have
right.
way more
All
HP
right.
and power.
Tell me more about.
I mean,
this
my
character.
strengths will inform a lot of this, right?
Does your character have a name?
Yes, John Chelios.
Okay.
John Chelios Sparrow.
Whatever.
John for
John
McClane and
okay.
John Wick, and then Chelios for Jason Statham's character in Crank,
Okay.
and then Sparrow for
You know the
Jack
movie had
Sparrow.
a sequel. Crank had a sequel.
Yeah, and Ron Jeremy was in it.
I did not
Was he
know.
also in the first one?
I never saw the sequel.
Me neither. I just know
thought
that
it's
Ron
funny it
Jeremy
got a
was in it.
sequel. Anyways, continue.
You guys know who Ron Jeremy is?
Pretty sure they're aware.
I'm gonna get unarmored defense, rage, reckless attack, danger sense, primal path.
That's
I chose
a crazy
with the Zealot.
warlock.
Uh,
What a warlock.
I just want to go over it a little bit. I'm choosing necrotic damage. I'm going with like a kind of a nasty flavor for my barbarian. Warrior of the gods at 3rd level, your soul is marked for endless battle. If a spell such as Raise Dead has a sole effect of restoring you to life but not on death, the caster doesn't need material components to cast it. So you're just easier. It's easier for you to come back to life, I guess. For my first feat, I took the durable feat. Hardy and resilient, you gain the following benefits: +1 to con, and then when I roll hit die to regain hit points, the minimum number of hit points I regain from the roll equals twice my Constitution modifier. So that's cool. A cool way. I get an extra attack at level 5. I get fast movement at level 5. I get extra 10 feet while I am not wearing heavy armor, which I won't be. Fanatical focus at level 6. I get divine power that fuels my rage, can protect me. If I fail a saving throw while I'm raging, I can re-roll it. And I must use the new reroll. You can only use this ability once per rage.
I just want everyone to know we did do an episode on the Zealot Barbarian already.
I just need people to know like how much better by comparison. I will not die. Okay, Feral Instinct. I'm getting here it is, Fade Away. It's available to me again. So for my second ability score improvement, I took the feat. I'm gonna get a +1 to Dex. And immediately after I take damage, I can use reaction and magically become invisible. So let me put that in Dex for sure, because I do not need to be smart.
Stop. Oh, wait. Okay.
We don't care.
Yeah, we don't care. My bad.
Beginning at, I get Brutal Critical at 9th level. I won't read the features then. I get
All right.
Zealous Presence at 10th. Oh, I will read this one, though, because at 10th level, you learn to channel your divine power to inspire zealotry in others. As a bonus action, you can unleash a battle cry infused with divine energy up to 10 creatures of your choice within 60 feet of you that can hear you gain advantage on attack rolls. That wasn't what I meant.
I'm a warlock.
Relentless Rage. My third ability and score improvement is Savage Attacker. Once per turn, when you roll damage with a melee weapon attack, you can re-roll it the weapon's damage and use either total. Brutal Critical, then Rage Beyond Death. This is the one I meant to read.
This is the real reason you did this.
And the 15th level one. The divine power that fuels your rage allows you to shrug off fatal blows while you're raging. Having 0 hit points doesn't knock you unconscious, which it sounds like a feature my warlock should have. You still must make death saving throws, and you suffer the normal effects of taking damage while at 0 hit points. However, if you would die due to failing death saving throws, you don't die until your rage ends, and you die then only if you still have 0 hit points, and then persistent rage beginning at level 15. Your rage is so fierce that it ends early only if you fall unconscious or if you choose to end it. So I will just be angry until someone can revive me.
There we go.
All right, and then I get all the Warlock stuff after that.
Okay.
We've talked about a whole bunch. Let's get into who
Warlock.
Who this character is. I think they're in like a city where the maybe like a monarchy that is like highly religiously driven.
Okay.
And
so a theocracy.
They are like conquerors, right? So yeah, theocratic conquerors. They're gonna go impose their will. And the will of whoever their god is.
Yeah.
And I was their champion warrior, just this raging rabbit man. And we're all Heron gods. This is all Heron. This is all everyone I'm mentioning. Like if you
The
pictured an
rabid
army,
rabbit.
they're all rabbits.
Okay.
They're all rabbits,
Okay.
and some of them are rabid.
Mhm.
So we're fighting an intense battle against like some halflings or something.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Some halfling conclave.
Yeah.
And I do end up falling in battle
Oh no.
into like a big pit trap they built.
Okay.
But I don't die. I get so mad that I punch through the earth.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I'll dig my way out. And I start digging like
You're
a rabbit would.
Rabbits burrow.
Burrowing.
Sure.
I'm
All right.
burrowing.
I love it.
And then I fall into an even deeper pit.
Oh, no.
And on my way down, I pass Gandalf and the Balrog.
No.
And when I
okay,
make-
we're not doing that. What?
No, I fall so fast that I just pass them on the way down.
But
and-
they're not involved in the rest of the story?
No,
Oh,
not
okay,
at
cool.
all. And when I make it to the bottom, I still can't die. And then a big skeleton that was like, oh shit, how many years has it been?
Okay.
Do you have any smokes? and I'm like, yeah. And it's like, wow, you should be dead. How come you're not dead? And I'm so fucking mad.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
that's chill as fuck. You want to work for me? I'll send you back up top. And he's like, fuck yeah.
Okay, cool.
And I get
Alliance was forged.
I get healed up, and now he's like, okay, you kind of work for me. I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just keep that a secret. I just want to go. I think my motivations are more to go kill.
Yeah, you have somewhat betrayed probably your religious obligations.
See,
no?
that doesn't track. Maybe they're
No?
in line. They're like, what's you're fighting in the name of God? It's like, oh yeah, I know them.
Yeah, I know that.
We're chill as
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
Here, maybe if I
I'm
do
like
you
that
this
guy's cousin.
maybe if I do you this favor, they can do me a favor. And like they're down there, like their legs are just pinned or whatever. It's like, can't get up.
Okay.
Legs are pinned. I got magic powers, but none of them help me lift this giant boulder off my legs.
Okay. So is that like your patron's mission is like find a way to remove this boulder?
Yeah, free me from this prison.
Okay.
And then I'm like, you're gonna have a hard time if Gandalf and the Balrog fall down here.
Yeah,
Just so you
absolutely.
know.
Like they're on their way. You don't know when they're going to show up, but they'll be here eventually.
Maybe I fell past them and then I grabbed onto like the wall, like in an act. I think that happens.
Oh,
in
so they just kept falling.
I think that happens in Die Hard where he grabs onto the elevator shaft or whatever. Like he should probably be
By the way,
dead at
it
the bottom
definitely
of an
wasn't a
elevator shaft.
Balrog in Gandalf. It was a D&D wizard and a Balor.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Fandog. And
Yeah, absolutely. Fandog and the Balor.
A Balorg.
Moving on.
No, this is it. This is the conversation.
Okay. Well, are you going to roll your stats for
Yeah,
this?
I probably should.
Barbarian?
I should probably roll my stats for my barbarian warlock multi-class.
It's hardly that.
This is okay. This is a one-shot character I'm building for a like a one-shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a one-shot character. I don't think I'm gonna like grind up to level
We
15
both-
and then just like
Yeah,
diverge.
we both built gimmick characters today. That's okay. Roll your dice.
Yeah, I mean, like I love gimmick characters. Here I go.
What do you got? Oh, I'm supposed to be keeping track of this.
Yeah, could you?
Yeah, no problem.
That's a 10. I'll take a
All right,
10.
we'll go to 10.
I'm doing it like you, where we get this good dice foley.
Mm-hmm. What do you got?
Another 10. In a different way.
Okay, all
There's
right.
2 4s and a 2, and that was a 6 and 2 2s.
Can we keep the streak going? Is it
How many
possible?
10s can I get? This one's an 8.
Oh, that's not a 10.
No, not a 10.
So what you need is 3 good rolls in a row right now.
Oh yeah, I hope so. Let's get those. There it is.
I see 2 4s.
There's
What
a
do you got?
12.
Okay,
It's
that's
3 4s.
Okay, now you need 2 rolls better than that in a row.
Yeah, here they come.
I see a 5.
Yeah. That's a 15.
Okay, now we need 1 roll equal to or better than that roll
Okay.
in order for it to be an okay character. I see a 6. Oh, but
14.
I see it. Okay,
Not bad.
not bad.
We can
You
work
have
with that.
this is a workable character.
Did I get 2 stats below 10?
You got 1 below 10.
Okay, then I think if I ever get 2 stats below 10, I'll re-roll one and keep whatever that is. But if not, I'll
Okay.
just keep what I got.
I'm okay with that. I would allow it.
Okay, so because like have a character with like 2 really bad stats, like the last ones we did
It
wasn't.
could be rough.
It was not as fun.
Did you choose the origin thing at the beginning of the character building thing?
I have it now.
Okay, cool. So now you
So-
should be able to modify it.
I guess I'll go. What are my?
Your top? You want your top one or your bottom?
How many? Do I got 3 odds?
You
I
have
don't think so.
no. You have literally 1 odd.
I'm getting a boost to my dex. I'll just take the +2/+1. That should be fine.
Yeah.
And then I'll take a +1 to. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
All right. Where do you want your 15?
That's gonna be in con.
Okay.
I'm gonna go con, strength, dex. I think.
Okay. So 14 would be for strength then.
Mm-hmm.
Dex would be 12.
Did I don't have an 11, huh?
No.
Okay,
you have,
that's fine. That's
yeah,
fine.
You have 2 10s and an 8 after this.
10. I'll say 10 charisma because you can't be bad charismatically as like a leader of an army.
Yeah. No. Not usually.
And
no.
then a 10 intelligence, and I'll dump stat wisdom.
Okay. That's. Oof. I would have opposited that, but
What was my wisdom? A 7?
8.
8. Okay. I think that'll be fun. A lot of my barbarian stuff kind of covers for my wisdom.
Okay,
being lacking. So there's that. Okay. So let's go to. Oh, here we go down here. That brings my strength 14, dex 14, con 18, intelligence 10, wisdom 8, charisma 10 is where I'm landing officially because of my bonuses that I get here and there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I took the urchin background.
Just
Oh wait,
like
no,
did.
I was looking at
You were
yours.
looking at mine.
No, I
The
was.
soldier background, right? Or the knight of the order? Or
Yeah,
what?
I was thinking a knight would
Okay.
probably be
a rage
better
knight.
one.
That's
A rage knight.
Interesting.
It could be soldier, but I don't know. I feel like more of a knight when it comes to
Okay.
to this.
I think there's a veteran as well. I think that there's a veteran.
Yeah, let me see if that's in here because that might kind of fit me better because I should be a veteran character.
Yeah, your character feels very veteran-y.
That's the language. Veteran. I don't see that in here. Maybe it's called
Mercenary. It might be under
I
mercenary.
did see there is a mercenary veteran.
Okay, so that's a little different from what you're looking for.
Yeah, I think it's either got to be alkalite. I think knight is a good like in between for like how I feel about this.
Okay.
It's like a soldier and an acolyte into one. That kind of makes a knight.
No, I'm into it.
It's like a knight of the order. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Okay.
And then that gives me a skill. Let's see. I think we're gonna have to go religion on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then languages don't really matter.
Damn.
I know. That's the kind of guy this is. Let me go to my what's next so I can see the stats and like not have to peek through and see what I have proficiencies in. So I'm getting +8 initiative. I have a 16 AC and I have 188 HP, which is impressive. But I am level 18.
Yeah.
I'm getting a +8 strength saving throw, +10 con saving throw. I'm proficient in athletics, perception, persuasion, religion, and survival.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much my guy, John Chelios Sparrow,
John Chelios Sparrow.
the Heron Gone, Zealot Barbarian, Undying Warlock,
Knight of the Order.
Knight of the Order. This is actually really cool.
This is insane.
This actually
I would
came
say
out-
it's insane.
This is a really cool, insane character.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to die.
Yeah,
This
you're
character will not die.
It will not die.
And like that's based off of the namesake. Like we got to honor the namesake.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. No, I'm glad you built what you built.
This
today.
Herongon's
It
parents,
highlights how much better survival anything but the Undying Warlock is. I think we can get ready for a long rest.
This character, I want to tell you about this character's
Oh.
parents who watched
Oh,
a lot
please.
of action movies while
Absolutely.
they were pregnant. They
Is that
named
it?
all
Is that-
the entire litter is named after action stars. There's one named like Rock Cena,
Roxina.
like Dwayne the Rock Cena, Elba,
Okay.
Idris Elba,
I just like Roxina.
Rock Cena Elba,
Roxina.
Rock Elba Cena.
Sure, that's cool.
Maybe there's another one just named Idris Elba.
Who's the
Extremely handsome rabbit.
Gosh, the dude with Van is in his name.
Van Gogh.
No, not
painter?
the artist. No, the stupid action star from the late '80s, early '90s.
Oh, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a
definitely a Jean-Claude and there's definitely a Van Damme.
yeah, the John in my name stands for all the Johns
Okay,
of
all
the action
Johns.
genre.
Which is most of them.
Yeah, there's like Bruce Lee. There's
Is there Jackie Chan?
Jackie
Jet
Chan,
Li?
Jackie Chan, Jet Li. There's who's the guy? Walker Texas Ranger.
I don't.
Chuck
know.
Norris.
Oh, Chuck Norris. Yeah,
I forgot Chuck
yeah.
Norris's name for a second. Sorry. There's like all kinds of rabbits in this
So
in
many.
this litter, and we all became Knights of the Order,
Yep.
and we all won't die.
Mm-hmm,
We just won't.
But you're the only one who's a warlock.
It makes sense. Yeah, now it makes sense because the Harengon are like pro life. They like have a lot of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like rabbits do.
Sure.
Let's call it a game.
Let's
Or
get
not a
ready
game,
for
but
a
like let's
short
get ready
rest.
for the long rest.
Long rest. Let's get ready for a long rest.
Shout out to Team Gorgon. Oh, yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to the long rest. This is the part of the show where we tell you about the Drakenstar Kickstarter. Go to drakenstar.com and kickstart the shit out of it.
Indeed, it's the campaign setting book based off of Super Quest Saga setting, which is a space opera, science fantasy setting.
Science.
And fantasy.
They're both there. You can get the team's working really hard on it, and it as of this recording, it's upwards of 80% funded. So you guys are doing it. We just need
Indeed.
more people to do it. I think it's like 40 people or something like that.
Something like that. That'll get it funded. And then also, if we could reach some of these stretch goals, we can get some really cool, like extra art, an adventure module, a DM screen custom to the Drakenstar setting, which has like alternate skills that don't exist in a regular D&D campaign. Also, this book is going to include like class options, an entirely new class called the Machinist. It's going to have over 100 alien monsters. It's going to have like detailed lore and information on the various galactic powers. It has all kinds of really new, cool, juicy stuff. And you don't necessarily even have to play in the Drakenstar setting, so much as like this could be used in any type of space adventure whatsoever.
That's true. And if you do want to play in the Drakenstar setting, this does talk about what happens after Super Quest Saga, the anime ends.
The anime. Once the anime
Once the graphic novel ends, you can pick up a few hundred years down the road and see where space is at.
the setting does take place 300 years after the end of the podcast.
Yes, which has ended. So check out what's happening next on the feed. I think by the time this episode drops, there still may be a feed drop left for Super Quest Saga Epilogue. And then after that is Flashbang and the Surgeon. We are moving that from our Patreon, from behind the paywall and onto the feed while we record Super Quest Omega, our next actual play project. So if you want to check out Super Quest Omega early, we are starting a tier in our Patreon called the Tier Omega. I think it sits between the $5 and $10 tier. Basically, you'll get everything you get at the $5 tier, plus you will get the player interviews that we did with me as the DM. So I interview each of our players, as well as our Session 0, where we talk about the lore and general setting information, and get to know everybody a little more and their characters a little more in depth. And then we're going to start playing, and those episodes are just going to go up in their raw forms on our Patreon in that tier as we finish them. So if you are in that tier or above, you will be able to hear it. Please consider just subscribing to our Patreon, patreon.com/thedungeoncast, especially if you want to get that stuff. You can still listen to FBATs there and lots of other actual play stuff that we did, early episodes and things like that. And Will and I have been having some discussions about streaming this show. So if you guys are interested in that, please let us know somewhere. We'll be asking in more public spaces. I don't know what's more public than this. But like we'll be asking in our Discord and in our Patreon if that's something you guys are interested in, because we are thinking about moving forward with that. I can't imagine the answer is going to be like, no, make it less available than you already do.
Right.
So that is something we're looking forward to getting on to like next year, I think, which is soon. It's in like 2 months.
Yes, it is very soon.
We're working on that. Maybe we'll do some test streams beforehand to get all the hiccups out before we start actually doing a show. But yeah, that's it. That's all we've got. Do we want to, unless Will's got something else?
No, I think we can call it a game.
We're calling it a game.
We'll talk to you guys later.
The show will never die. Bye.
The Dungeoncast.